Testing 1, 2. Testing 1. Testing 1, 2. Let's see you guys.
Yeah, do it again. IT is unmuted.
Okay, IT is unmuted now. Witness A, can you hear?
Morning, Ms. Seegers Nube.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning to witness A. Does witness A hear me?
Yes, good morning, Chair.
Good morning. You are still under your oath.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, before we start with where we left off yesterday, the witness wanted to clarify two aspects of his evidence from yesterday. The first is in relation to page 13, paragraph 40 of his statement, which...
Paragraph
40.
40.
Yes.
Yes.
The witness, this was the exchange that Chair had with the witness regarding Zungu and whether the witness was aware of any investigations that were initiated by General Shabiri regarding this aspect, or whether the witness was aware of any investigations that linked Mr. Zungu to the syndicate. And the witness his answer was that he was not aware of any investigations, but he wants to clarify what he understood by investigations and what he is aware of, Chair. Witness A, you may go ahead.
Yes, Commissioners, and good morning. Yes, one piece that I wanted to clarify is that I understood the Commissioners as to be asking whether there is any investigation that was undertaken either by us or any other investigative body that I am aware of. Then my answer was no to that. But then I thought that I will have to clarify that this character of Zungu from DPCI Tom section so seen he showed up on one of the members of the cartels that we later arrested this year in the name of Madlanga that I didn't deal with yesterday. So when we arrested this character, Vusimuzi, Catch Madlanga, on the 14th of May, his phone was confiscated from him, and then when the downloads were done of the phone, the communication between him and this Zoom were found on his phone, which then proved what General Shabiri had said when we met him the first time. And yet again, on the 6th of July, during the press briefing of General Kwanazi, we were notified by the prison personnel in where Madlanga is held that he was found with a phone in his prison cell. Then when we went and confiscated that phone, yet again on his contact we found this character, my pardon, Zoom. So I just felt that I needed to clarify those two occasions.
Engagement with the witness again regarding the reasons that the three other investigating members of the team had left the investigation. Chair will recall that the Chair had asked about threats and whether that was the reason, in line with what General Mkwanazi said. The witness just wants to clarify his answer on that aspect. You may go ahead, Witness A.
Thank you, Chair. My answer to that was, or rather the question was, why did they withdraw from the team? Then I said I did not know the reason. Then it was suggested to me whether it was because of the threats, then I really ended saying maybe it was because of the threat, but it was not given to us formally as threats. But I thought when I was thinking back on it to say maybe it is one of the issues that cannot be publicly said to this commission. The reason as to why they left from the side, from my side, cannot really be given in those public platform.
Are you, without giving the reasons, able to say why not?
Yes, Chair. It is. I think it will amount to saying it's one of those issues that cannot be given to the public to know about. That will mean it can be given to the commissioners, but not on this platform.
Thank you.
Thank you, Witness A. Witness A, we'll now continue with where we left off with your evidence. We were about to start the topic of involvement of crime intelligence and the PKTT, and that is on page 23, and in particular we were at paragraph 73 of your statement. Will you just go there?
Yes, I'm on that paragraph, Commissioners.
Can you tell us how the PKTT got involved, how you got involved and got to know the PKTT?
The PKTT was involved when we got now taken into under the command or under the wing of General Lekalakala, who was now going to provide us with protection and also take care of investigation. That is when now we were told that we're going to be giving support from the team that is now known as T. Then we had a meeting where we were told what to expect and what was going to happen, and and we were asked what support we needed in terms of doing our work, which is now investigation, and then the protection that had to go hand in hand with investigation.
Okay, can I just take you back then and let's deal with it systematically. So at paragraph 73, you talk about being placed under 24-hour protection, and at this stage the PKTT is not yet involved, am I correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
It was not yet involved. But that was the times when we will briefly, like from day to day, getting briefing as to how they're going to be involved in order to assist us to move on with our investigations.
Okay. Now, can you just tell the Commission how did being under 24-hour protection impact on your daily lives and your work as well as investigators?
When it comes to our lives, it brought a huge change. That was not expected because it was I think it was the first experience to both of us, Witness B and myself, we've never imagined that we could be admitted to this program. And then this program came with its own challenges, as much as it was assisting us to be able to do our investigation in a protected way, but it means now your life as a person is impacted. And then also the families are somehow affected, even though they understand, but the kids they really do not understand. Because even if you can try and explain to them to say, hey, this is how I'm working, they don't really understand why it has to happen the way it happens. And then we had to make a huge adjustment. And not only adjustment, it also came with some sacrifices, because now we need to sacrifice this in order to be able to adapt in this program, if I can just put it briefly without giving a lot about it.
Thank you. On page 24 of your statement at paragraph 74, you speak about events of the 28th of October 2024. Can you just tell us what happened?
On this day, it was the day when we were, myself and witness B, we were taken into a meeting where we met with the commanders that were going to take over. They were going to be like taking different sections of our work, because it included investigation, which is one part, which meant that you needed to have the commander from the detective side. Then it also needed, it also meant that you needed to have a commander from protection and the commander from crime intelligence. And then we were taken through that to be told as what it is that we're going to expect. I would say it was sort of like an induction program. We were told you're going to be taken to a place, and then in that place you must expect this and that, in short. But I don't think that I can really go into the details of what was happening there, because now we were living under a new, we were taken under a new section of the police, which is crime intelligence. And then normally they do not do their operations publicly. And then some of the things and their operations cannot really be articulated in the platform as public as this one.
Thank you. Witness A, then at paragraph 75, you speak about another meeting that occurred on the 4th of November 2024 with the same officials. Can you tell us what that meeting was about?
This meeting was now a follow-up meeting, where now we were meeting with the same commanders to take on from where we left the previous week. And then on that meeting, we were then told that we're not going back to our homes. We were now admitted to the program on full-time basis now, meaning the program is going to take over, which means the crime intelligence is taking over. Whatever you are doing it under the crime intelligence wing, because from the day of the murder of Mr. Swart, it means it was the mainstream police under the detective wing that was overseeing the whole operation. But from that day on to this day, it was crime intelligence that was taking over, meaning that we were going to be doing our investigations as detectives, the way detectives work, but under the wing of the crime intelligence. meaning it will be the crime intelligence who will be telling you, this is how we're going to move, and then this is how you're going to eat, if I may just say a few things, and this is how you're going to buy your clothes, because we are looking for the safety, which is now the personal safety of the detectives, and then the whole people that are involved. Because now it was not only the two detectives, it was also every other stakeholder who is there is now being taken care by crime intelligence, if I may say that. Meaning, even if you wanted to, for instance, attend to a wedding, which will be something that is private, you need to inform the commanders to say, on such and such day, I will have a wedding or a function at my family. Then it will be them to will then say, this is how it's going to happen, if it will happen, if you are going to be allowed to attend to that. I think I'm not going to go into deep details about it.
Witness A, it's Commissioner Kumalo here. Focusing only on the dockets, we are now in November 2024. Did you remain investigating officers?
The people, which means the investigators, but also the docket as well, it needed to be protected. So we are still the investigating officers in the docket as we were before the crime intelligence took over. But it is just them that are providing security, or I would say protection, and the guidance that is needed in the investigation in terms of assistance.
Thank you, Witness A. Can you just tell us how did you feel that day about the fact that you would now be taken away from your home?
I would say it was overwhelming in a way that, as much as I had been told a week prior that I will be taken under the wing of the crime intelligence, but on that day there was no notice in the morning that, hey, you won't sleep home, we're going to take you. We were just taken to a place, and then we were told, this is the place, go get your bags, you're coming here now. And then it means now it was a life-changing experience to say you need to adapt, you need to learn to live here in this way. And I'm not saying that it is an unbearable conditions, but I'm saying if you have to change and adapt to a new way of living as an adult, and adapting a new way of doing things as an adult, and learn to depend to other people for everything that you need to do, it's not an easy thing. So it brought that change. Let's say now I from that day I've never been alone. I will be moving, wherever I move with a group. Whatever I do, I need to do with a group. Whatever decision that I take, I need to think of the group that this cannot be my decision. The group needs to agree to a decision. Sometimes not only agree, but approve of what I'm suggesting. So that was the adaptation that one needed to learn in order to adapt in this environment.
You describe it as follows in your statement. At that moment, the full weight of the situation came crashing on me like a ton of bricks. Life had changed. Is that how you felt?
that is how I felt at that particular moment. And even now, sometimes I do feel like that, because you will think of the things, what you used to do, maybe on special days in the year, on the holidays. Everyone knows on this holiday, this is what I do with the family. On this holiday, this is what I do with maybe my friends. On this day, this is what I used to do with the colleagues at the office. But now I'm here, meaning I will have to be doing all of those things with these people that now I'm being told to live with. Because at that time, it was just the people, because you haven't met them. But now you are told that there are people that are coming, you will have to live with them. So it was one of those things. At the same time, you just need to keep your family abreast, to tell them this is what is happening, this is how I'm living. And then maybe I should just mention to the commission to say, for 3 months, if I'm correct, we didn't go home. We were here. We celebrated Christmas here. The festive holidays, starting from the early December to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, we were here, not going home, and then not even disclosing to the people that are close to you where you are, because this is a new program, and then it's a sensitive program, and then it's an environment that is controlled by a new unit that you've never worked so closely with. Now, you also have to learn new ways of communicating, even with your cell phone, to say, I cannot disclose to my friends where I'm enjoying my New Year's until I figure out what is actually happening here, because now there is this aspect of safety. There is also an aspect of saying, now, if I expose myself much to my friends where I am, they might get excited of what is happening and tell the wrong people. So those are the things, or those are the changes that one had to deal with and adopt in very quickly.
Thank you, Witness A. At paragraph 76 of your statement, you deal with your arrival at the safe house and being joined by the PKTT. Can you just tell us what transpired there?
Yes, Commissioners. Just a short time after we arrived here at the new place, we were then told that we were not going to be working like, I would say, the mainstream detectives like we used to work. We were going to be introduced to a new team, which is now known as PKTT, that we're going to work hand in hand with. And then we were told what to expect, and then what it is that will be expected of us. But from us, there was nothing new really that was expected. We're still going to be putting the effort or doing the daily investigation that we were doing from the onset. It was just that now it was going to be done in a different environment, different style, different people, and then maybe let me not go to working hours, because that is an operational issue.
Okay,
But
thank you.
That's in short, that's what it was.
Thank you, Witness A. Then can you tell us what was the status of the SWAT murder investigation at this stage? on paragraph 76.
The status of Swart murder case was at a very advanced stage, such that we were ready to arrest a fourth suspect, who is now Kadiso Mulife, and his niece, who is Lucky Mulife, that we could not be able to arrest to this day.
You mean his nephew?
A nephew. What did I say, Commissioner? I didn't hear
He
me.
said niece.
Yes, nephew. My apology.
Okay.
Yes, Commissioners.
And what was your involvement in that process? And can you start from the time, from the 5th of December?
From the 5th of December, we were engaged with the team now. The PKTT team was in full force, giving us assistance wherever it was needed. Then the 5th of December was the day when we were going to different courts, doing applications for warrants for these people that I've mentioned, who will be like Mulife and Katiso Mulife.
And did you obtain the warrants?
We did obtain the warrants for their arrest, and then there was going to be an operation to arrest them the following day, which was going to be the 6th of December.
Okay, that then takes us to the next topic. Maybe you can deal then with what happens on the 6th of December.
The 6th of December was the day when we had three operations that were running differently. But I will talk mainly to two, which was split amongst or between myself and witness B. I was in charge of the operation that was going to be arresting Kadiso Mulife on that day. And witness B was going to be in charge of an operation that was supposed to arrest Lucky Mulife. So these operations were planned to be running at the same time but separately. But then unfortunately, the one of Lucky Mulife did not proceed. It did actually took off, but it was called off because he was not found where he was supposed to be found, where he was traced. Meaning that witness B and her team needed to join us in the operation that was going to be arresting Kadiso Mulife.
Okay.
Witness, if I may. Witness A, in that paragraph 76, you speak about a J50, the warrant of arrest for Mulife, but then you don't say anything similar about Lucky Mulife. Did you have a warrant for his arrest as well?
Yes, there was a warrant for Lucky Mulife as well, Commissioners. Maybe the reason I didn't say much about it is just that it was an operation that witness B was in charge of. But there definitely was a warrant of arrest for him as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. Witness A, can you tell us then how you went about the takedown of Mr. Mulife?
Sorry, Advocate Siggles and Witness A, because there are two Mulifes here, I think let's just be clear for the record going forward. When he refers to Mulife, he's referring to Katiso Mulife and not Lucky Mulife. Otherwise, we will get confused. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Kumalo. Witness A, you may proceed.
Sorry. Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, I will be referring to Katiso Mulife on this operation. that I was actually in charge of. It took place on the 6th of December, and then it was an operation where we needed to arrest him, as we will call it, a takedown. And then it started in the morning of the day with our members doing the surveillance to see the movements of the suspect, the Kadiso Mulife, up until there was the takedown midday of the same day, where he was then arrested at his place. Maybe I can just give details as to how he was then arrested. We then went to his place, and then we requested entry, and then he opened his gate. We found him with another person, and then that person was heavily armed. We believe him to be his bodyguard at the time. And then we had to disarm him and then restrain both of them before we could ask them to identify themselves to us.
Witness, sorry,
having
Witness
done
A.
that,
Witness A, can I just get some specifics regarding you saying that you had to disarm them? What arms did they have with them?
the person that was with Kadiso Mulife at the time had a rifle. And then his rifle, I think he also had 3 extra fully loaded magazines with him, and a magazine that was in the firearm, meaning that he had 4 fully loaded magazines in his rifle, and then he also had a side pistol that he had on his waist, and then Kadiso Mulife also had a side pistol that was on his waist. And then we disarmed them, and then we asked them to produce or to show us their firearm licenses, which they did. And then we took possession of the firearms, and we restrained them.
Sorry, Advocate Siegels. There's an issue here that may become important at a later stage, so maybe we should deal with it now. Witness A, the operation to arrest Mr. Mulefe and your team, what I need clarity on is, firstly, whether your team was in uniform, in police uniform, and how you identified yourselves when you got there. Because an issue that may arise in this commission later on is that there was suspicion that your team impersonated police people. That's why there was interference in relation to what led to Mr. Mulife's arrest. So if you can just clarify who was the team and how you were dressed and how you identified yourselves when you got to Mulife's house at Sandhurst, in Sandhurst.
Yes, Commissioners. Before we could enter the gate, we identified ourselves by the way of shouting at him because he was on the other side of the gate. So we audibly told him that we are police, and then we requested entry. And then he opened, and once he opened, because they were armed, we first needed to make the situation safe before we could just produce our appointment certificates for them to see that we are police. And then, more than that, we also produced the warrant of arrest that was signed by the court for him to read, to see that we are police. And then, for what I understand, is that He knew from then that we are police, because we even told him that we are here with a case that he knew about. All he said in the instant when I handcuffed him was that, how are we linking him to the murder of Mr. Swart, because we know that he was not there. Then I told him that this is not the case, that you needed to be there. But any case, we're going to explain to you how you are linked at a later stage. Right now, I just need to explain your rights to you as an arrested person. And then he cooperated. He didn't give problems.
Yes. Witness A, in that paragraph 77, you say something about who made up the team that went to effect this arrest. Can you speak more to that? What are the units, if that's what they are called, the different units that were involved with this?
The units that were involved in this takedown, it was my unit, which is now organized crime detectives, because that is where I am from. And the unit that we were working with at the time, which is TRT, Tactical Response Team, that is the unit that was giving us support. That is the units that did the operation, commissioners.
Yes. You mentioned the PKTT in the statement. Do you want to speak to that?
Oh, yes. Yes, the PKTT came with the CI, the crime intelligence side of things. And then the PKTT also was now giving guidance and then giving support. As I said, now we were having different operations that were running at the same time. It means now the PKTT as the support component was not on the ground with us as we arrested. It was us that were on the ground going to different operation to arrest. As I said, the operations were supposed to be two running at the same time, meaning now there were commanders from PKTT that were coordinating all those operations that were happening at the same time. So they were not like physically at Mlife's place, but they were overseeing the operations from a secluded place, if I may say that.
Okay, so just to be sure, where you say at approximately 12:30, the Mlife takedown team, which included members of the PKTT, traced his movements to his house in Sandhurst. That's what you're explaining there when you say they were assisting, coordinating, but not present at the scene when you effected the arrest.
That is correct. The commanders were not, that were overseeing, they were not there, they were just coordinating it from somewhere else, but we were reporting to them from time to time, and the CI was helping to locate him, to say this is where he is moving, and then this is where he is at this time, so you can
Yes.
effectively take down.
Yes. And then in that same paragraph, you also say we were met with resistance from Molefe and his person, who we thought was perhaps his driver or bodyguard as they approached the gate. You haven't described any conduct which amounts to resistance in your evidence, or that I could understand as resistance. Do you want to explain that bit in the statement?
Yes, the resistance may have came in two parts. The first part of the resistance, maybe I won't be able to talk to that much because I was not part of the team. There is the team that was confronted by this particular person that I'm saying was armed with a rifle when they were doing surveillance. They were approached by this person when they reported to us to say, we are here now, we're being pointed by firearms. And this time we were at a different location waiting for them to tell us that the suspect that you're looking for is here. But now they gave us a call that, hey, we're being surrounded by a person who is armed with a firearm and he is with the suspect. And then they were also told that at some point there is a person who is a police officer, a JMPD person that came. So I was not personally confronted with that situation. It was the situation that was reported to us, but it made us that we had to rush very quickly from where we were at the time, so that situation that side could not escalate, because we didn't know what worse could happen if we didn't come as quick as we needed to. But then when we at the gate requesting entry, the resistance that we came across with was that they first didn't want to open the gate. For some time, as requesting, demanding entry and all that, they did come to the gate but did not want to open the gate up until they saw that it was a team of quite a lot of people. Maybe that is why they ended up opening, I'm thinking. So that is the resistance that I'm talking about, that I experienced.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. Witness A, can you identify the person that was with Mr. Molefe that you say had a rifle and another firearm?
Is that person identified himself as Lihasa Moloi?
And
then,
continue.
Yes, Commissioner.
Were you able to establish if he is a driver or a bodyguard of Mr. Molefe?
It was difficult to establish that, because if I did ask him if are you a bodyguard to Mr. Molefe, then he said no, he's not a bodyguard to Mr. Molefe, he's just a friend. Then I asked him, why are you so heavily armed? Then he told me that he was phoned by Mr. Molefe saying that there are people that are parked next to his house and he doesn't trust them. That is why he came armed.
Okay. So at what point then did you gain entry? You mentioned something about this person driving past you into the gate in a white BMW. When did that happen?
It happened, if I remember correctly, it was because we came down the road and we parked just next to the gate, waiting to enter at this place of Mr. Molefe. But before we could get out of the house, this BMW came rushing and it went in. And then at that time, we didn't know if Mr. Molefe was in that BMW or not. But now we were told that it was inside. So it was a confusion to us to say, is he inside or he just came in with this BMW? But now as we approach the gate, demanding to entry, when these two people came to us, we didn't know at that time that the two of the people, one was Mr. Molefe, because we didn't know him before then. It was when they were restrained that they gave them their identities to say, I am Lihasa Moloi. And then I asked him, who is this guy here? Then he said, this is Katiso Molefe. Then I said, this is the person that we're looking for.
Let me take you to the production of the licenses, witness A. Was the license produced even in respect of the rifle?
Yes, the license of the rifle was produced, Chairperson, even though I wouldn't remember now at what stage it was produced. Was it at the gate? Because things were happening very fast. I can't remember correctly now if at first he produced only for the pistol, or he produced both. But as the operation was progressing, we had both licenses.
You know this better than I do. Do ordinary individuals like me, I won't say you and I, you are a police officer, but definitely I, do they get issued licenses for rifles?
That is a question that I asked him. They actually do. I asked him, how did you get to be issued with the rifle, this caliber license? Then he told me that he actually has a security company under his name. Even I don't know if it was operating or not, but he told me that he has got a security company. And then further, he told me that that rifle, it was for his personal safety.
Thank you, Chair. Witness A, can you then continue with once you make entry? How did Mr. Molefe identify himself to you? I'm not sure if you covered that already.
Yes, for starters, I asked to say, who is this man that is with you? Then he said, it was Gadi we are looking for. Then I went to him, then I say, sir, who are you? Then he said, he is Mr. Molefe. He is Gatiso Molefe. And then I said, I told him who I was. And then the reason why we were there, which was now we are arresting you for the murder of Mr. Amar Swart.
And then
he, yes, Commissioner.
No, sorry, proceed.
And then the first question was that he asked me was, how are we connecting him to that murder, because he was not there. Then I said, but then you didn't need to be there for you to be connected to a murder, but for now, we will deal with that later. Here is a warrant for your arrest that is issued by the court. And then I read it out for him, and then I gave it to him to read. I also asked him if I can explain it to in a vernacular language as to what it was saying. Then he said, no, there is no need. He understands it. Then he has read it. It's fine. I can arrest him. And then I arrested him. I made him safe. I secured him. And then we made the environment or the house safe. And then we took him to the safe place. And then we told him what is going to happen in terms of searching his place. We are requested to search his place, which he consented to. He agreed. And then we wanted to search his house because he had a lot of cars. I mean, the vehicles that were parked in his yard. We asked if we can search the vehicles. Then he said yes. But and then I also requested him to declare if there is anything unlawful that he would like to declare before we could search. Then he said, no, there is nothing unlawful that he needed to declare. We can search the house. And then further than that, I asked him who else was at home that he wants to tell us about. Then he said it was his kids. And but I think it was 3 guys that were working for him, the gardeners, I will call them that. They were helping him in the garden. And then they came, then we saw them, we made them safe. The kids came, we saw them, we made them safe. Then they were at the one side as we started to search.
Witness A, you say the team included the TRT. Were they in uniform?
The TRT were not in full uniform, except of their bullet vests, the bullet proofs that are clearly marked SAPS.
Yes. And so when Mr. Lehasa came out and he had a rifle on him, would he have been aware that he is dealing with, or he's going to be confronting or talking to the police? Were you properly identifiable?
Yes, he would have been aware because they were clearly visible. But other than that, I would think that the first confrontation with our teams that were in the BMW that was confronted by Molefe and with his JMPD friend. The JMPD friend, he did approach them and they introduced themselves to him as a police. So by then he exactly knew that this was the police operation.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. You were then dealing with the searches that you had undertaken at the house. You said that you searched the vehicles. How many vehicles did you search?
We searched the number of the vehicles that were there, commissioners.
I think it's at paragraph 80.
Paragraph 8. It was quite a number of vehicles. I can't see the number now.
I think you've got 7 in your statement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was the number of the vehicles, but what I remember is that we asked if all these vehicles are his, and then he said all of them are his. Then we requested him to give us all the vehicles that he told us that are in the kitchen. Then we went there, then we took all the vehicles for us to be able to have access to the vehicles. And then before we could start searching, we requested for him to consent to a search. And then he said yes. And then for things like the cell phones and laptops, he had to sign a consent form for us so that we can be able to search those things, or maybe to access those things in terms of downloading. And then we took that form, we read it out to him, and then still I also said, can I explain the contents of the form to you? Then he told me to say, I was a teacher, I understand English. So, but he didn't say it in a bad way. He just told me that you do not have to explain it to me in vernac. I understand the contents, so let me sign. And then he signed because I wanted him to understand it in English. If he doesn't understand, if there is a word that he doesn't understand, then I was going to explain to it the way I understood. But he said, no, there will be no need to explain it to him in vernac because he does understand English. He was a teacher. Then he signed that consent form. And then we started searching from outside in the vehicles going in the house.
Okay, can you tell us about the search in the house from paragraph 81?
Yes. The search started in his house with him telling us what room served what purpose. There was a kitchen, there was a room just behind the kitchen that he says that room is used as an office, and it's a family office. In that room, when we searched in it, we found a lot of documents that he said they belong to his son.
What were these documents relating to?
These documents were relating to different companies. It seemed like these documents had a lot to do with Transnet, applying for tenders for Transnet, registration of companies, and then there is also a particular set of documents that belonged to a company that I mentioned yesterday, which is SK Group, which is now linked directly to the matter that we were dealing with at the time. This A group, if I can just take the commission a little aback, is that it was the group, it was the company that was a buyer at a QTech company buying for Transnet. And then Molife's nephew, Lucky Molife, that we needed to arrest, was working for Transnet, holding a position of a buyer as well, meaning he will buy